Steve Gonzer, physical therapist. I want to talk to you about Run Form. I had some questions come through about some different videos I shot and things I put together. So I figured I'd clear the air for you real quick. I want to talk to you. Oh, helpful if you're even looking at me. There we go. Here I am. I want to talk to you guys about a couple things on Run Form because I had some questions come through. There were some videos I put out that talked about foot strike and loading tendons, and sometimes you don't want to load tendons. So I want to show you some analysis real quick to help you understand your run form, because good run form is very unique. If you want to run faster, you want to get injured less, there's a couple ways to do it. You could be, if you want to run faster, for example, you could add more miles, add more speed workouts, which takes more time, it adds more risk because you're doing more things. If you want to get faster and prevent injuries, you can add strength workouts to your plan. That's still adding more things. The unique thing about Run Form, and I still advocate for smart training plans and strength workouts and things, but the unique thing about Run Form is that you can use it without having to add more to your plate, because the cool thing is you just practice while you're running and you can get more efficient, you can save energy, you can decrease forces that could possibly get you injured. So I wanted to clear the air because I just went live to our main members group and I talked for about an hour, and one of the questions was, in one video I talked about the fact that you want to avoid loading your tendons. In another video I talked about you want to load your tendons because they're like natural rubber bands. So I figured I'd come on and talk to you about this. It's all about the Midfoot Project, which is coming up. So if you haven't checked that out, go to midfootproject.com. We're starting on next Sunday, so time is running out. So let me show you this quick video. So this is typically how most people run. I'm going to show you this in half speed. This is me running to show you an example. I'm going to slow it down. Most runners do this. They come forward, they hit with their knee completely straight. And I just talked to the group, my members group, about this. They come through here, they hit with this leg straight, and the fact of the matter is, this is how most people run. And when you run like this, the key thing to know is that it loads your joints a lot. Like the ankle's in what we call a closed pack position, so there's a maximum bone-on-bone contact here, there's maximum bony interaction here. So if you're a runner who's struggling with knee pain and ankle stuff going on and just want to run faster, this is a good thing to fix, because not only are you overloading your knees and your ankles, you're also applying this backwards force. I talk about it as tapping the brakes. But needless to say, when you run like this, you're not really loading any tendons. The second you hit the ground, you're just crushing into the skeletal system in your bones. So what we want to do, I want to teach you here, is you want to transition to muscles and tendons. You get better shock absorption and you get to run faster because you get to break less. Trouble is if you do this incorrectly, you get really beat up. So let me show you the proper way. I'm going to jump into my own run form here, and then I want to show you what happens when it goes wrong. Because if you can improve your run form, it is critical. You can work on it while you run. You don't have to do more to improve. So let me jump back to this. I'm going to go ahead and delete that yellow thing out of the way. And let's just watch me run at full speed, and I'm just going to slow it down here. So this is my natural run form, and this is what we do teach in the Midfoot Project, is how to get this first stage of running in. We'll slow it down a little bit more. And I'm going to take this left foot. Watch it come through. I'm going to pause it. Let's actually back it up a touch. So what we want to look at is, okay, when you run and you land with this midfoot strike, so here's my contact point right here. I'm landing on a bent knee and my foot's facing straight ahead. We can even go back one frame to see where I'm about to land. When you land this way, you notice how like I'm landing with my whole foot flat? What this does is it prevents an overload to your calf muscle. But when we do land this way, it's just like someone jumping and landing. You jump up and you come down and you land into shock absorption. You don't land with your knees straight and on your heels because that's all bone. When you run, and there is a better way to run than just straightening your knee out, and this is it. When you run this way, you get to land on your calf, you land on your quad, you land on your hamstrings and your glute and some of your core muscles. You start loading all these muscle groups. So instead of taking it through the bone, you're catching yourself on these natural rubber bands, especially in these areas that provide a ton of speed, but also shock absorption for running. So we do want to land there. It's just we don't want to do what this next runner is going to do. I'm going to show you here in a second, because one of the things I want to tell you is if you wanted to evaluate your own run form, there's two apps, Coach's Eye, and if someone could just type this in there, Huddle Technique app and Coach's Eye. Two great apps that you can use to evaluate your own run form. It's what we encourage people to use when we go through the Midfoot Project. And just a short plug, that starts next week, depending on when you watch this. It starts on Sunday the 23rd. And it's a 5-week program where we teach you everything we know about run form. in this first level. But what we want you to do is avoid doing what this runner does. Let me show you, because if you do this, there is no instance where I think this will be helpful. This will get you injured. It will waste a shit ton of energy. And I've had a beer, so apparently I'm going to say the S word now. So let me show you this runner here coming through. And I'm just going to take you right to this first frame. He's coming through, like if you look at this leg, it looks pretty similar to mine, right? The only difference is, and this runner tried to learn midfoot strike, and you can see how he's pointed down a little bit. What's going to result from that is this toe run. Toe runners beware. There is no reason to toe run unless you're sprinting or running uphill. And the reason why running uphill matters is just because the ground's slanted and you have to hit your toe first. But there's no instance where a runner should be toe running. Because I mentioned, like I talked about, like there's a time and a place. Like you want to land on your tendons, and it's plural. You want to land on your tendons, not your tendon, singular. And what I mean by that is when I showed you my video of, oh boy, that doesn't look good. When I showed you my video of this with the foot strike, what we weren't looking at was the single load. I talked about the calf, the quad, the glutes, the hammy. When we run this way, you're just focused right there, right at the Achilles tendon. So let's watch this roll through a little bit. Notice how his heel's off the ground. As he comes through that phase of running, his heel's down now. So essentially, he's loading hard onto that Achilles tendon. What happens at push-off phase is when he pushes off, all that force goes into the ground and launches him up in the air. So then you come through and like watch when I just stop it on this side. It's easiest to see when his right leg's coming forward because of the shoe position. Look at how high off the ground he is. And what goes up must come down. I can tell you, I'd rather have a runner heel strike than toe strike. So if you're a toe striker, you should be looking to get away from that. It's a super waste of energy. When I say you should land on your midfoot, I'm talking about really a bent knee landing. You load on your muscles and tendons, plural, multiple. You're not just landing on one single spot and torching things. So it just gives you, I wanted to clear the air on that. We had some questions on, you told me not to land on my tendons and now you're telling me to. I don't get it. Make it plural, land on multiple parts of your body. Don't land with a straight knee. If you want some help with this, 5 weeks, that's all I need with you to show you everything you need to know on improving your run form. Just go to midfootproject.com. Program is closing soon. We get started next week, people. So if you want to get in, now's the time. Midfootproject.com. Talk to you soon. Bye.